Hey, good morning, girls. We're gonna make a video here talking about our 221 3/4 court press. We call this pineapple, and we fall back into mango, which is our 2-3 zone. I'm gonna go over the responsibilities really quick. So these top two players, usually my 1 and 2, your guards. You're gonna be making sure that you're pushing the girls to the sideline. And you're going to be hopefully, if you're the player that is defending the ball, you're going to be hopefully teaming up with this back player to get a nice trap. If you are not the player who is making the trap, you're kind of dropping down here in the middle, taking away this middle pass. If there's no one in the middle, you're also taking away this pass back. You're kind of in no man's land over here. So pretty easy. These two players, you're either pressuring the ball at the sideline if the ball's on your side and trapping with the back player, or you're taking away middle. That's your responsibility. Pretty straightforward. Down below here, these two players, you're either going to be taking away or you're teaming up to trap, or you're going to be falling back for help. And then the 5 is actually a really important player in this. The 5 is going to be stepping up, taking away the sideline passes that we have here. So you got to be really athletic. As the ball starts dribbling to your side, you got to anticipate that. So let's go ahead and walk through this really quick. Usually you're going to have a point guard and the 2 here. You have the 3 inbounding. And then different teams break the press different ways. I'll just set it up like this for now. This is kind of how we've been doing it. But pretty simple. Let's say number 1 pops out to the side. Okay, and this player, I don't have a ball, but this player inbounds the ball to number 1. At this point, we have pressure on here, and we want to be containing you as close to the sideline as possible, because the sideline is another defender. And then we want to team up with this player, needs to come up, and we want to set a good trap. We really want to use our lower bodies, get up into them, and really smother them with our traps. Okay, and so we need to really work on setting good traps. We're going to work on that in practice. But usually the trap isn't what gets the steal, it's the bad pass that comes from that player. So we've talked about this a lot. This player wants to look sideline, so they're going to probably have somebody flashing sideline. And who's responsible for sideline? This player. So you're kind of sneaking up a little bit, and as you see it moving this way, you're creeping up over here to take away that sideline pass. And then this player is going to be falling back, okay? Right there, close to the nearest player. This defender, you're not the guard who's setting the trap. You're sitting in middle here, okay, taking away middle. Usually this player cuts down the middle, so that's kind of what you're anticipating and you're covering. You have to be an anticipator. You got to look for the passes. So the passes are probably going to be, and usually they have someone back here for help. So this guard, when we set this trap, they're probably either going to go sideline, they're going to go middle, or they're going to go back. If they hit sideline, the 5 who was back here didn't do their job. Okay, if they hit middle, the off guard who isn't setting the trap didn't do their job. And if they hit back, that's the one we'll probably give up for a ball reversal. So right at this point, let's say they do reverse it. So the ball gets passed over here. Now this player has the ball, okay, and starts dribbling this way. This person who was middle, now they need to come up here and press the sideline. They're probably going to advance it a little further up the court this time. Okay. All right. At this point, this is where this player who's helping back, they need to sprint up to set the trap on this side. And the 5 who's taking away sideline, they need to drop back. So the rotation is going to be this player is coming up. Hopefully we're going to get a trap in this area right here. And then this defender drops back to where they started. Okay. Remember the guard who was up here? Now they're not trapping. So what does this guard need to do? This guard needs to drop down here, and they need to take away middle, okay? And so they're anticipating middle. And then this player right here, the 4, if you take a look now, so we have, you got to bail and sprint as fast as you can for help, because we need that 5 who was taking away that sideline. Now you got to probably sprint over here and take away this sideline, okay? And so that's going to be our rotation. So this pass, sideline, that 5 came back and took it away. Middle, okay, this guard drops down here, takes it away, and then we give up the back. Let's say they do break the press though. Somehow we don't get a good trap and they advance it past here. Now we drop into our mango. So we have the 2-3 zone. Okay, and 2-3 zone, one thing we've been talking about a lot is just communicating. You guys have to talk. Because most teams are going to have a high post. And so a lot of the communication is going to be between the guards and the 5. Like that area has to be a lot of communication. And then we have to communicate on when we transfer off from the wing. So let's kind of walk through that so you can kind of see. Usually they put a player in a short corner. This is how we set up our zone offense, okay? So as the ball gets passed over here, this player is going to guard that. But if it gets dribbled down here, they have to pass that on, and at this point, you're going to drop back in there, okay, and you're going to communicate. If you're out here guarding the ball, we want this player to be fronting the high post in that position, and that would allow the 5 to kind of sit back a little deeper here to help. Okay, and we have the inside position. So the biggest thing we got to make sure we communicate where we mess up on the 2-3 zone is we got to make sure we communicate who's covering the high post, and that's always going to be either the 5 kind of back here behind them or the 2 guards. And remember, if the ball's on your side, let's say the ball comes over here, now this player is on the ball. Okay, I want this player to come through and front the high post, and that will allow our 5 to drop a little deeper there. You can still help, but now you're in a better position to help there, okay? So that's a quick review over our defense. That is called pineapple, and we always drop into mango.